What is up, YouTube? I'm Devon DaVinci, leader of the Renaissance crew, and you're watching DaVinci Reacts. Yes, I know there's an elephant in the room. I can definitely see that. uh, I cut my hair off. It's a lot easier to deal with when it's like this, and it's cooler. It just feels nice. Um, Before I go ahead and jump into anything else, I do want to quickly announce that over on Patreon, I do have a schedule that I'm going to be uh, holding myself to from now on. I have movie of the week reactions coming on Mondays at 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. I have TV show reactions on Wednesdays, 4:30 p.m. Eastern time, and I have a live stream that I'm going to be doing exclusively for Patreon on Saturdays, 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. Right now, there's a thread over on my Patreon that's taking requests and recommendations for YouTube videos that you would like to see me react to. The top videos that get the most likes or the most recommended comments are going to be the videos I'm going to be reacting to on that live stream. So you can join the chat, participate, everything else. And super chats will also be added onto the list. Now, I will only do so many. That way I don't end up on a 24-hour live stream. But for those of you that do want to join, Patreon's only $1, and it's links in the description box down below. Now, with that being said, let us continue with more casual geographic. Now, I recently did a video about the wholesome casual geographic compilation. This one is something that is a little bit more down my alley as a big time dinosaur fan. A video called What Prehistoric Animals Would Have Lived in Your State is definitely something that interests me. Now, a couple things about this video. One, it says prehistoric animals. That is not exclusive to dinosaurs. So that can be just about anything leading up to like the Ice Age. Second, the picture that I'm seeing right now has a picture of a Spinosaurus. I can guarantee you Spinosaurus is not going to be on this list. Now, I don't know if there's maybe like a relative of Spinosaurus, like Baryonyx or Irritator or Suchomimus that might maybe, because I never really studied where they came from. I know Spinosaurus is based in Africa, so you're not going to see Spinosaurus on this list. But I am curious to see what will appear on this list. So Casual Geographic, please feel free to teach me exactly what I need to know because I don't know. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this and see what it has to offer.
What prehistoric animal would be your problem based on your state? Florida, you would have to deal with the Basilosaurus if you swam too far from the shore. Basically a homicidal roid whale that grew to 66 feet long with jaws that could send you to another plane of existence. New York, y'all would also want to avoid the beaches, because Europterus, aka sea scorpion the size of a damn house cat, would have been your problem. The largest ones were almost 4.5 feet long. California is so full of itself they named this violation against nature after it.
Okay. About the last one, the wow, I'm so used to the Afros and they're going like this. um the last one with the giant sea scorpion. I was reading somewhere that said that the reason why bugs were so big back then, because if you look at it, a lot of like the largest insects that's ever existed when it came to like centipedes, spiders, dragonflies, everything were around the prehistoric time. That's because the oxygen levels in the atmosphere was so great, which allowed animals to get bigger. Now, I'm curious as to like if humanity were to find a way to increase the amount of oxygen in the atmosphere. I mean, fat chance of that happening. We can barely get oxygen up to normal when we know that there are things limiting oxygen in the atmosphere. But if we were to somehow do that, would it have an effect and cause animals to start getting bigger again? And how quickly would that occur? But that's just a quick thing I was just thinking of.
Californosaurus was a prehistoric marine reptile that grew to 10 feet long and made the ocean a substantially more fucked up place. This one hurts. Living in New Jersey would have been a living sodomy because a 30-foot killer crocodile Deinosuchus would have turned the Sunshine State into the murder capital of the world. Basically Chicago with more crocodiles.
Gigantic
Keep in mind this crocodile
crocodile.
clapped sharks for fun and would use us as a toothpick. And for the 3 people and 2 polar bears that live in Alaska, running fades with a dire wolf would have been a way of life. It would also be a way of death because they are bigger than wolves today. But don't be too disappointed. Some people have been trying to bring the dire wolf back, and honestly I'd rather resurrect this roid wolf than bring back Game of Thrones. What animal you'd have to worry about based on your state. Everything's bigger in Texas, and that includes the 10-foot, 22,000-pound middle finger that was Mastodon. Just know there's no such thing as a homeowner with this thing walking around. Because there's no worldly possession that you own that this prehistoric Dumbo wouldn't take from you, and that includes your...
I've always been curious whether or not mastodon and woolly mammoths were different. I always was under the assumption they were the same thing, but it's possible they were separate because the picture I'm looking at right now, that doesn't look like a woolly mammoth. So somebody will have to let me know about that.
Thing walking around. Because there's no worldly possession that you own that this prehistoric Dumbo wouldn't take from you, and that includes your soul. Michigan, y'all like rats? Y'all had Castroid, aka a 7-foot, 200-pound roid rodent, also known as the giant beaver. Don't even bother with a mousetrap, you're better off using a tactical on this violation with teeth. Arizona, welcome to your tape. Sarasaurus was a 14-foot, 250-pound life insurance cancellation with claws. Colorado, you might have had it worse than anybody else. Allosaurus would have squad wiped you and your entire bloodline.
He has a picture of the Allosaurus from the Isle. That makes me feel some type of way. And a picture of Allosaurus from Jurassic World Evolution. Or Jurassic World, I guess.
17 feet tall, 5,000 pounds with a top speed of 34 miles per hour, you would have been disrespectfully fucked. When I tell you this prehistoric murder gecko would have stabbed Patty kills, it would have had a higher body count than Bundy and all the sororities in the world combined. Don't think you're safe, New Mexico, you're not better off. Y'all would have had Gastosaurus, aka Big Bird with a rap sheet, in your backyard. Take cassowaries today, make them 6'7", and you have a malicious tendency Thunder Goose that would body you in your living room as well as on the basketball court. What prehistoric animal would be your problem based on your state? Welcome to your tape, Georgia. You would have had duck-billed dinosaurs. 36 feet long and 15,000 pounds, and since they traveled in herds, you could easily get Mufasa if you didn't get out the way. Connecticut, y'all had Dilophosaurus straight out of Jurassic. They didn't spit venom, but at 23 feet 9,000 pounds with vice grip jaws, they didn't need to. Utah, y'all got...
Yeah, that's the funniest thing about the whole Dilophosaurus situation. Because of Jurassic Park, people have completely misunderstood what this dinosaur was about. It didn't spit venom. It didn't do anything like that. It didn't have a giant frill. It was way bigger than it actually was portrayed in the movies, which is interesting because normally movies make dinosaurs bigger, not smaller. I mean, look at the Velociraptor, for example. That one was way overinflated. Now, I know they say that it was in the book, they were really Deinonychus, and they just gave them the name Velociraptor because it sound better. But even Deinonychus weren't as big as the raptors in the ones that were portrayed in the movie. I think now that we look at it, those raptors are more probably closer to like Dakota raptors and stuff. But even then, Dakota raptors are a new discovery, relatively new. I'd say like the last 5 or 6 years. And they wouldn't have known about it back then. And some people try to say Utah raptor, but Utah raptor was way bigger than that. Utah raptors are bigger than the raptors in the movie. So I think they were just confused. But Deinonychus, it grew to like 15 feet tall. The one in the movie was like, what, maybe 4 feet tall?
They didn't spit venom, but at 23 feet 9,000 pounds with vice grip jaws, they didn't need to. Utah, y'all got blessed with one of the most disrespectful predators of the Ice Age, the short-faced bear. And at 11 feet tall, the only thing short about them is their temper followed by your time on Earth. Delaware, you'd want to stay out the water. Because there would have been multiple types of marine reptiles like Mosasaurus just waiting to put you in a blunt. North and South Carolina, say a prayer and thank God that he vaulted a 16-foot murder gecko known as Postosuchus. Because this homicide on legs was failed plot development. Here's what prehistoric animal you'd have to worry about based on your state. Alabama, you're a special kind of fucked. Tylosaurus was a 45-foot death iguana that would have put you in the back of a milk carton if you swam near it. And since they probably hunted in packs, this would have been the worst form of gang violence. Pennsylvania, clench your anus because you'd be screwed too. Rudiodon was a prehistoric version of the crocodile that could grow to 26 feet. As the largest predators in the area, they keep property values down and life insurance up. Illinois, no dinosaur bones have been found in your state, so the only thing that would kill you is boredom. Just kidding, you'd be getting vibe checked by the giant stag moose. He's bigger than the average moose. Ohio, you'd want to avoid water at all costs because 30-foot Dunkleosteus would be out here living up to the hype. Not only did they have one of the most devastating bites of all time, this death guppy would have had bulletproof armor. Virginia, you would have had herds of woolly mammoths right in your front yard. My bad, their front yard. Because at 13 feet 12,000 pounds, your name might be on the lease, but this shag carpet with tusk would be the landlord. Nebraska, you would have been as down bad could get. You would have had a rhino-hippo hybrid called a
I was about to say, so
Telosaurus.
it looks like a
God
rhino
took a
hippo.
homicide horse and a forbidden unicorn, put them together, gave it personality disorder, and said, let Nebraska deal with it.
But it's actually kind of small when you compare it to like rhinos and hippos. Like, look at it next to the person up there. It's like lower than shoulder. I mean, it's still massive, but it's interesting how small it is.
You're fucked. What prehistoric animal would be your problem based on your
Good
state?
pause.
Louisiana, y'all would have the alligator gar. Fearsome freshwater fish that can grow to 10 feet,
Oh, they
350
still have
pounds.
those.
This gator piranha love child clearly escaped God's draft, but at least he vaulted. What? Oh, they're still
Barracuda.
alive. Well, shit.
All right, I was
Tennessee
saying, they
meet
still have
Titanotylopus, an 11-foot, 4,800-pound homicidal alpaca on steroids. They'd normally be calm, but if you pissed them off, they could take your head off like camels today, and that's not hyperbole, it actually happened. Maryland, you'd have Ecphora, a murder snail with a long, sharp tooth designed to punch holes in the shells of other snails. They'd only be 5 inches long, but 5 inches can do a lot of damage. Pause. Hey, Indiana, who's your daddy? If you were alive back then, the
People
answer
with
would be the
5 inches will
mastodon,
tell
the
you that.
mammoth, the short-faced bear, and the smilodon. Basically, you'd be taking losses left and right. Massachusetts, you had the intimidating Stegosaurus. They were related to crocodiles, but were also a massive disappointment at only 7 inches. You wouldn't know that looking at the picture, so you're also looking at the world's first catfish. What prehistoric animal you'd have to worry about based on your state. Oklahoma, you would have had the Mastrodoninae, aka the saber-tooth obituary on legs. Their teeth weren't good for holding struggling prey, so they would have specialized in killing you in seconds. Nevada, there's no other way to put this, y'all had some fuckery going on. You'd have a 50-foot, 60,000-pound Shonosaurus handing out aquatic fades like Phelps. They're one of the biggest reptiles ever, one of the top 5 most disrespectful things to ever leave God's drafts. Missouri, you're gonna love this one. The homicidal hell pig would have been your neighbor. They weren't actually pigs, but the hell part, that was on point. Built like a tank with hyena jaws, the Satan swine would have canceled life subscriptions on an egregious level. Rhode Island, if you don't like spiders, welcome to your tape. I can't pronounce its name, but I can pronounce you dead if this thing ever finds its way into your home. Oregon,
like
meet
a
the
spider
Pontilus,
tick.
a prehistoric Pleistocene walrus. I don't know if this homicidal blubber
What's with
nugget
this
actually had
picture?
tusks, but it definitely would have had a nasty bite that would have put you out of commission. And it would have ran all your beaches. Hawaii, I didn't forget about you. Y'all actually never had dinosaurs, so unless you're afraid of birds like the moa nola, you'd be fine. On land, water would be a different movie with no sequel.
had
Here's what
dinosaurs
animal
then.
would be your nightmare based on your state. Dakota. South, left, right, it doesn't matter. Tyrone Rex would have snatched your soul and your chain. Not only was its bite the equivalent to
what did you
getting
say?
curb stomped, right, it doesn't matter. Tyrone Rex would have snatched your soul and your
Tyrone,
chain. Not only was its bite the equivalent to getting curb stomped by a truck, it was septic, meaning even if you escaped, the clammy hands of Satan would still drag you to hell. Montana, y'all would be down horrendous. This giraffe raptor would have been the largest flying animal to ever
Biggest
exist, and if
flying
it plotted on
creature
you,
ever.
you were finished. At 18 feet tall with a 40-foot wingspan, you would not be the main character. West Virginia, y'all would be more fucked than a relative at a family reunion. Dire wolves were fearsome pack hunters that would have been malicious population control, and if you couldn't tame them like Game of Thrones, you'd get canceled like them. Kentucky, y'all had a giant ground sloth, which isn't bad until you realize those claws meant it would disembowel you with its pinky.
Giant
Mississippi,
ground
y'all wouldn't have
sloths
been
would
able to
not
swim
mess
without
with.
16-foot Zagoras putting you on the news. Just like dolphins, they were smart enough and evil enough to make your life a living jihad just for fun. Arkansas, y'all had Arkansaurus. Great name, by the way. This prehistoric murder goose grew to 15 feet tall with claws that would make you 6 feet shorter. Yeah, they would have
Sounds
had
like a,
hands, and best believe they would have used them. We got a fun
jump
one
waiting to
today.
happen.
Washington, y'all would have had Diceratherium running fades and erasing names. If they were anything like rhinos today, they would have had horns and a nasty temper to go with it. Wyoming, you would have had Uintatherium. Basically, God tried to draw rhinos strictly from memory and got distracted. But if you want to question God, this prehistoric tank will happily send you to him. Minnesota, I'm not gonna lie, y'all would have been Homotherium's chew toy. These roid kitties were the same size as African lions today, and their teeth were S-tier disrespectful. With a top speed of 45 miles per hour, y'all be down so bad you'd be born 6 feet under. Kansas, pterosaur, need I say more? 36-foot wingspan, 550 pounds, built like a homicidal fighter jet. This thing would have put you in a...
Hold on 1 second. These are the Quetzal. I never knew how to pronounce the name, but the Quetzalsaurus or whatever that it's called. I'm sure they were pterosaurs, but normally when people talk about pterosaurs, they're thinking of this right here. So I'm wondering, did they also have the biggest flying creature ever also?
blunt and smoked a U-pack. Vermont, going underwater would have been a death sentence if 36-foot Camarasaurus pressed you. Basically an armor-plated giant squid. Yeah, nature was in its bag on this one. Idaho, I don't even know what to tell you. Orctodromus was a burrowing animal, but at 7 feet tall, you'd still look up to them. Here's what animal would be your nightmare based on your state. At 8 feet, 3,500 pounds, taking a selfie with this prehistoric appa wouldn't fly. But you might. The day you get on his bad side is the day your parents say bye, son. Iowa, welcome to your tape. You would have had the plesiosaur. They were apex predators that would have ran the ocean away. Goodell runs the NFL with no regard for human life. New Hampshire, you would have been blessed with the mastodon's presence. At 11 feet, 22,000 pounds, they would have turned something as simple as checking your mail into a living jihad. Just like elephants, they'd enter a state of must where just being alive would be enough to trigger them. Maine, you're gonna like this one. Y'all would have had a 16-foot homicidal dolphin that would have conducted itself like killer whales today. That includes psychopath tendencies and affinity to gang violence. Puerto Rico, I'm going to include y'all because I love you guys. Y'all had a tropical marine climate perfect for 40-foot, 2,500-pound Titana boa. There's a lot of snakes in the world. You probably dated a few of them, and this by far would have been the worst one. If you can't find your state, I'm going to post this entire series to YouTube, so make sure y'all subscribe to my channel. And if you're watching this on YouTube, leave a like, subscribe.
That's perfect. As a matter of fact, I will do that just right now. Boom. Hit that like button. It's very important to hit the like button if you want to show content creators some support. So, don't worry about that. Now, did we learn something today? Well, a lot of these creatures, like I said, weren't necessarily dinosaurs. A lot of them didn't live in dinosaur at the same time as the dinosaurs. But I think the reason for that is because as of right now, all we know about dinosaurs, or at least the area that has been the best when it came to preserving them, is like the upper Midwest, with Montana and the Dakotas and that type of area. That's where all the dinosaur fossils tend to be found. All of the fossil sites. You don't really find any of them outside of that area in the United States. Now, it's not to say that they didn't exist in like the rest of the country, but that was the area that preserved them the best. So just about all the dinosaurs we know in America are from that location. So it's possible that your area could have also had T-Rex and all types of other dinosaurs. It's just that we don't know because we don't really have the fossils to showcase that. But with that being said, I would like to see him do a video or a set of videos related to like the or not the best, the most dangerous prehistoric animal per country. Because America, we'd have the T-Rex, and then like China would have maybe, I was about to say Velociraptor, but I keep forgetting real life Velociraptors. While they were dangerous to us, they probably weren't the most intimidating for a lot of other dinosaurs. So it'd probably be a bigger raptor. I think that'd be an interesting video. You take a bunch of different countries and you just list the most dangerous creatures from those areas, and it gives you a much bigger palette as to like different dinosaurs and prehistoric creatures and stuff. I'd like to see something like that. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and share. Again, hitting like is very important because it definitely helps the channel out with the algorithm and getting videos in recommendations, which helps expand the community. So if you liked the video, I'm not going to beg you to hit the like button if you didn't, but if you did like the video, be sure to show it by hitting that like button. That's all that really matters. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. I will have more videos from Hood Nature, who now goes by Casual Geographic. And oh wow, he only had 3,000 subscribers at the time of this video, because now he has 1 million. Over 1 million subscribers. I like to see a time period. Well, this video that's in this video, this shot says it was released a day ago. All I gotta do is look for that video and see how long it says now, and I can calculate how long it took for him to go from 3,000 subscribers to 1 million. I think that'd be interesting. But I look forward to seeing you guys in a future video. Until then, I'm Devon DaVinci. I'm signing out, and I'm giving you the deuces, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.